Hey guys, it's Justine and I'm using brand new stamps from a brand new company called The Stamp Market. This stamp is called Perfect Pieces and this one's called You Are My Fave. Now, nobody's asked me to do this video, I'm just doing it because I was really excited about them after I discovered them on Instagram. And I will link below in the comments for the supplies I used. So I'm starting off with the creative corners from the Misty. You can see I put that L shape in the corner. That was so I could prop up my card so I could use background stamps properly and have it in the same space every time. But I'm going to get started by stamping the sentiments first. So I'm stamping with black VersaFine ink in black onyx. I'm stamping the Hello You. This is such cool sentiments. They're like brush lettering, really bold and fun. And these stamps here, these background stamps, reminded me of, my childhood with like the Lisa Frank notebooks and stuff like that, like super fun. And I wanted to create some really bright colors on them after I had stamped them in black. So that was kind of my inspiration for this card. And I should have a piece of paper on my Misty on my black foam, but I totally forgot because I ended up ruining my next card because I put it on top of it. So make sure you have a piece of paper underneath so you're not stamping onto your foam. Lessons learned, learn them from me before you make them yourself, is what I always say. So next up, I'm using the next sentiment. So I'm actually making 2 cards today, and I've been really in the mood of making multiple cards lately, and I've been doing it more and more often, and it's just, you have the supplies out, so why not? And it also makes my pictures look better, I think, when I have more than one card on them. So I'm continuing on, but this time with the heart background, and it's really super easy to line up, and I just keep using my Misty Creative Corners there to help me line everything up. They're really cool accessory to have for your Misty, and they're brand new, so you can get those, and I'll link to those as well. And they have a whole bunch of different pieces that allow you to diagonal stamp and things like that, and I'll have a video in the future on how all of those pieces work. This is my first time using them and trying them out, so I want to get a couple of little test runs going with those before I actually do a review and do a how-to video on them, but for sure it's coming. So next up, I'm just going to be using the lines on my grid that I work on here, my craft mat. I'm using those to line up where I should put my 3M masking tape. So I have my corners lined up perfectly on the edges, and I'm able to line up with the lines. That's how I can get a really straight look. So I'm going to be switching to my craft mat when I'm distress inking, but that's just the way I can get my straight lines. Alright, so I transferred my surfaces onto a nice slick craft mat so I could get my blending tool going here, and I'm going to start off with some festive berries, and I'm just going to blend off the paper, then move my way onto the paper, and then I'm going to move into a slightly lighter color, the worn lipstick, just to give it a sort of ombre look up until the top. And when I remove that masking tape there, I'm going to have a straight line of color going across, and it looks really, really cool. For the blue, I decided on Mermaid Lagoon, and then I blended in with some peacock feathers to add a little bit of a teal color. So that's Mermaid Lagoon there on the bottom, and it almost looks very close to the broken china in the lighting that I'm at, but it's a little bit darker. And then I'm going in with the peacock feathers to create another little ombre look. And so I really like the way that both of those cards turned out, and I decided that they needed a little bit of an embellishment going along that line, that straight line there that I had done the masking on, because it looked a little bit funny and a little bit bare. So I grabbed some silver foil tape and added that to the top of the card. I then went in and decided to put on onto some card bases. So they measure 11 by 4 1/4, and I fold them in half to make 2 top folding cards. And then I'm going to add these panels here to the cardstock that I'm using, and I really like the way that these turned out. They're pretty simple to do, nothing super creative or fancy, but I really like the way that they turned out. And I added some white pearl embossing, or Nouveau drops rather, and those created some really nice enamel shapes. And that's the way that they turned out there with their little colors. I hope you enjoyed, and all the supplies used are listed below in the video description or in my blog. You can subscribe to my channel here, check out my blog, or check out 2 other videos using the distress ink technique. I hope to be bringing you more videos featuring these stamps in the future. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.